How are we on time?
You're good.
We're good?
You got about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Or 15, 20 minutes.
So then I'm going to kind of flow into how you guys try and stay relevant in the industry. I mean,
Okay.
you know, nothing ever stays the same. So how do you guys do research and stuff like that to make sure that you're still on top of your game, you're still presenting what's everybody's still wanting and all of that? How do you guys
Yeah, it's a really good question. So next month, this restaurant company will turn 50 years old. And that may seem like not a long time, but for a restaurant company, it's a long time.
Sure.
You know the restaurant business is extremely competitive.
Yeah.
So to survive 50 years, you're good.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot of things right. And one of the main questions is what you just asked, that we have to answer year after year after year. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse is, you know, in past, I'd say 30 years ago, was all red leather booths and dark wood and basically like a men's club, you know, going into a private men's club. But over the years, that worked 30 years ago, but as time has evolved and women have become a bigger part of the workplace and making more of the decisions, we've had to evolve as well in the look of our restaurants. You'll see the look of this restaurant is much more feminine and has more feminine touches than you would see in one of our properties that's 30 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing is that food, as you know, everybody considers himself a food expert now, mainly because of the Food Network and all the, you know, there's tons of gourmets and foodies because people watch that and they're like, wow, I can roll my own sushi and on down. That's what happens at 4:30. It's time. It's the mood lighting. So we are a franchise. So we're part of a parent company. So we have at our corporate headquarters in Orlando a team of chefs that do research to make us relevant. For instance, the Caesar salad that we're serving, well, are we still serving, does it look the same as it did 10 years ago? If it did, we're probably behind the curve. Because the ingredients and the taste and the flavor profile of the Caesar salad isn't going to change, but the plate we put it on and how we stack it and arrange it and plate it better be current. So it's a constant evolution of daily saying, are we relevant today? And the measure is greatly related to your sales. People let you know how relevant you are by their feet.
Yeah.
Do they walk through the door? How many reservations do we have tonight? And if we don't have any reservations or they're steadily declining, maybe we're not relevant.
Yeah. Okay. And so then what kinds of research do you do to keep up with the changes?
Well, because we're a franchise, that's one thing they do for us.
Okay.
Because they represent a worldwide organization.
Yeah.
Ruth's Chris is the largest fine dining chain in the world. So they're very protective. Mark Robbins here in Salt Lake location, I can't say, you know, we're going to do the Caesar salad this way. And let me turn that off. Because if there's 150 other franchisees all over the world and we're all doing a different Caesar salad, suddenly we don't have a brand anymore, right? So when you go to McDonald's, whether it's in Japan or Sandy, Utah, when you walk in, you expect to have a Big Mac offered and the fries and a chocolate milkshake and everything that Ruth's Chris is the same.
Yeah.
You expect to have the same things offered. So that in our circumstance, in our company, that's something that's left to the corporate team.
Okay, so I think that is the end of our questions.
I have one more.
You have one more?
Yeah. How do you communicate with your staff and like your salary employees and stuff like that? Like, do you do memos and things like that?
We don't do a lot of memos. This is not an office environment.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't do memos and emails and texts and that kind of thing.
Okay.
With my salaried employees, I do. And my role as the owner of the company is I communicate with the head of the front of the house, being the dining room, and the head of the back of the house, which is the kitchen. So I have a general manager and I have an executive chef. So those two people are the ones they directly report to me and I directly report to them. I tell them an example. Today I told the chef we had some employees that parked in our customer lot today, parking lot. So I know whose car it was. The person's worked for me for 12 years and I'm good friends with them. I didn't go up to that person and say, you can't park your car there, and you know that, so please, I need you to move it and not use the customer lot for employees. We can't do that. So I sent an email to the chef, because it was one of his employees. I said, you need to tell those employees not to park here. So yeah, we maintain a chain of command, and I think what it does is it empowers the employees to respect the line of authority, the people above them. And it gives the managers the opportunity to be the leaders, to be the ones
to do their job.
To do their job. So on the other hand, as far as communicating to people, I consider it to be my job to be the leader of the personality of our restaurant / culture of our restaurant. So is it important for me to know the names of all 75 employees? Absolutely. Some of the people I don't do any of the hiring. I hire the managers, and then the managers hire all the other people. Yeah. So here we have 5 managers. So I hired those people. They've now worked, every single one of them started on day 1 when I opened the restaurant. And they'll probably work for me. Some of them have worked for me for 27 years. So there's not going to be a lot of change, but they're hiring people every day. So I have to go up and meet these people and introduce myself and communicate that we are a company where we know each other's names, and feel free to come and talk to me and make it what we call a family environment. Yeah. We want it to feel like, if your house burned down, the people here, within 10 minutes, I guarantee there would be a fund. This happened. One of the cooks there, his apartment burned up. And within 10 minutes, there was a fund. People were handing cash to the manager that was on duty that night. He started an envelope in the safe in the manager's office, and they raised a few $1,000s for this.
Wow. For
this guy. And these are people that don't have tons of money.
Yeah.
Sure.
They have to pay for school and rent and food and kids, and just like everybody. So it's very heartwarming how there's an environment of care and respect. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. So do you have any questions for us before we leave, or other than that?
I don't think so.
Perfect.
Is this a business class that you're doing?
It's in English class.
Oh, an English class.
Yeah. It's a work about business profile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
We would like to extend an invitation. We have to present this in front of our class, and you are more than welcome to come and
Okay.
watch if you
Well,
would
I'll
like.
let Alejandro text